Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going to dive into a powerful guidance system that you already have, something way more intuitive than any app on your phone. Let's get right into mapping out this inner compass of yours.
So, let's start with this really interesting trend that kind of blew up on social media. Apps like Randonautica. You've probably heard of them. They claim to guide you to these bizarre, sometimes straight-up magical experiences, all based on an intention you set. But it really makes you wonder, is the magic actually in the app or is it in you?
The idea is pretty simple, right? You set an intention, the app spits out some random coordinates, and you go explore. But the stories that came out of this were just wild. People setting an intention for treasure and stumbling upon abandoned jewelry, or thinking about power and ending up at a power plant. The synchronicities were just uncanny.
And all of this brings up a really crucial question. Is the power really in some random number generator? Or is the app just a tool, a sort of permission slip that helps us tap into something we already have inside? What if you are the true guidance system?
Okay, so let's move beyond the app for a second. Because the core idea here, and this is really important, is that you are already wired for this exact kind of powerful, intuitive guidance. You honestly don't need to download a thing.
It really boils down to this simple but incredibly profound equation. Think of it like this. Your intention is the destination you plug into your own personal GPS, and your intuition, that's the compass, giving you all the turn-by-turn directions to get you there.
And that right there is the heart of it. The most powerful tools for discovery, for manifestation, they aren't external. They are, and they have always been, a fundamental part of who you are. Now, I want to share a real-world example of this in action. It's a story about a listener named Jordan who put this whole idea to the test without any technology at all. And it just shows you how powerful this inner connection can be.
So instead of opening an app, Jordan just sat down and wrote out this really clear feeling-based intention. Notice the goal wasn't to find a thing, it was to experience a feeling. I want to be reminded that magic still exists.
And then, instead of waiting for coordinates, Jordan just listened. They felt that quiet inner pull, that little gut feeling that said, hey, go left today instead of right. You know that voice. It's a voice we all have, but we so often tune it out.
And get this, after just following that simple feeling, they stumbled upon this, a bright blue door with a plaque that said, "Wonder lives here." I mean, come on. It was a perfect, tangible, and just magical answer to the exact intention they set. It was like the universe winking right back at them.
And you know, the real takeaway from this, the real gift, wasn't the door itself. It was the powerful realization that their own inner compass works, that they could trust their own intuition to lead them exactly where they needed to go. So you're probably asking, okay, how can I start using this for myself? Well, it can really be broken down into 5 simple, practical steps that you can literally start using today. So here's the framework. It all starts with setting a clear intention. And remember, focus on the feeling. Then you just tune in, pause, take a breath, see where you're at. Next, ask for guidance. Something simple like show me a sign works great. Now this next part is crucial. You have to follow the nudge. Trust that quiet pull, just like Jordan did. And finally, reflect on what you find. That reinforces the whole connection. This turns it from a cool idea into a real, repeatable practice.
And what's so cool about all this is that it's not just some spiritual or woo-woo concept. Modern science is actually starting to give us a framework for understanding the mechanics behind why this works so well.
So you have two sides of the same coin here. On one hand, you have spiritual wisdom from teachers like Abraham Hicks, which says our job isn't to force things, but to align our own energy with what we desire. And on the other hand, you have neuroscience, which shows that setting a clear intention actually primes our brain's filtering system to start noticing patterns and opportunities it would normally ignore. They're basically two different languages describing the exact same powerful process.
And this state of alignment, it isn't just a feeling. It has a direct, measurable effect on our intuitive abilities. Research is showing that we can actually quantify the improvement in our intuitive accuracy when we get into this state, and the improvement is significant. It's about 25%. That's right. Groundbreaking research from the HeartMath Institute has shown that when our heart and brain get into what they call coherence, a state of sync that we can reach through things like intentional breathing, our intuitive accuracy demonstrably increases. This means we can literally train ourselves to be more intuitive. How cool is that?
So, let's bring all this back home. Let's talk about how you can start applying this in your own life right now.
So you can put the phone down,
Seriously, you don't need an external algorithm to show you the way. The map, the compass, and the destination, they are already inside of you.
At the end of the day, the magic really happens in this simple two-step dance. First, you set a clear direction with your intention, and then you surrender to the journey by trusting the nudge of your intuition. It's a practice of both clarity and trust.
If this has sparked something in you and you're ready to explore this on a much deeper level, I really invite you to join me on the full podcast episode. It's called The Hidden Power of Intention and Intuition Revealed, and we go way, way deeper into all of this. I can't wait to see you there.